being honest, I really didn't believe that we were going to get the result that we got yesterday. I did shout out before the game that I thought an odd goal might be the difference between the two teams, and so coming away with a 2-0 win, I was ecstatic, over the moon, and that kind of does cloud your judgment on the performance of the game. Sorry, the dogs are fighting. It does cloud your judgment on the game as to what you actually see and what at the time. So I like to do these videos after the event to give myself a little bit of time to kind of think about it and put it in a little bit more of a perspective than I might do after the game. So after the game, I was like over the moon, ecstatic. We'd just beaten the champions, and everything in the world was rosy, and I'd had a couple of sherbets, and that probably clouded my review at that moment. But I do kind of stick by it to a certain extent. I think the reality is the first half we didn't start particularly well. We were under a lot of pressure, as you expect from a team like City. They're going to put you under pressure. They're going to create opportunities and stuff. They hit the post, lucky break for us. They had the penalty, which we'll come on to, which was saved. And so you're kind of thinking, this is going against us, and are we going to get smashed and all the rest of it. Felt the second half was a bit of a different affair, and I guess the sending off has to play a pivotal role in it, whether I like it or not. It does play a role. They've gone down to 10 men, and so that does give us an advantage. But overall, I felt that the second half we played okay. We played a lot better than the first half. Our passing was sharper, and there were some good performances from certain players. I thought Lo Celso, I thought was really good. Showed some real quality. Harry Winks, who, to be fair, the much maligned Harry Winks gets a lot of stick for his sideways and backward passing. But yesterday, I thought he really did show real quality. Kept the ball really well. He drove on, lots of forward movement and stuff like that. I thought he had a really, really good game. And again, when Ndombele come on, you can just see the quality that guy has. He really looks class. If only we could just keep him fit enough to play regularly, then I do think we've got a real player in him. Defensively, I felt that Tanganga was exceptional. I think his positional play is really good. His attitude's really good. For a young kid, he's all over it, playing against some really good players. So again, I thought he had a really good game. Aurier, who gets an awful lot of stick, and I'm one of them who gives him an awful lot of stick. Felt he did okay. Thought he had a decent game. He didn't cause too many problems. Yeah, okay, penalty. We'll come on to that. But overall, I felt he had a decent game, and I was quite pleased that he seems to be progressing slightly. Having watched some of the videos of him following the game, it does make you worry that he's got all that energy, that he can dance about and all the rest of it. And I'm not sure how that fits in with Jose Mourinho's mentality about football players. But I think time will tell at that. I personally would still like to see a new, more solid right back who would be a defensive right back, because I think we've got attacking options with Mora and players like that, Lamela, to play further up the pitch. So for me, I would much rather see a nice solid back four that are going to really look after that scenario. I felt that Sanchez had a really bad first half. He was really wobbling, but he tends to get put under pressure. The ball gets played to him, and he is not Alderweireld. He's not gonna ping that ball all that way with pinpoint accuracy to someone. he doesn't look comfortable doing that. He likes to play it short again to Toby to ping it up there, or back to Hugo, you know, to kind of get him out of trouble. So I just worry that every time they play it to him, he looks really kind of worried. Second half, I thought he looked a lot better. He made some important tackles, and he grew into the game. So maybe he was just having a bit of a rough time at the start of the game. I don't know, but you know, ultimately they didn't score against us. So as a defensive unit, you've got to say they did their job. You know, so I was pleased. Overall performance, I thought, yeah, first half really dodgy. Second half much better. Turning point was probably the sending off. I don't think you can ignore that. Yesterday I said that I'd be a bit disappointed if one of our players got sent off for that, because I felt it was a shoulder to shoulder. But it's a technical foul, right? He, you know, Winks is on the run. He runs across him. He takes him out. It's a professional foul. You know, he's already had a yellow card. It's a yellow card, and so he has to go. But this is City we're talking about. They're a really good side. And to be fair, for most of the game, I didn't feel like it looked like they had a one-man disadvantage. I've got to be honest. I didn't think it looked like that. I thought the game still looked fairly even. But then when Steve Bergvin scores that goal, fantastic goal, and to be fair, he had a good game. Debut, scores a goal, really good goal. You can't not call it out that he had a really good game, because he did. Did his funny thing that he does with his hand as well. The collective was great to see. All the players on top of each other, some of the subs. You know, even Mourinho getting all excited and everything. So, you know, fantastic to see him score on his debut, especially a good goal like that. And of course, you know, then you're in control. Icing on the cake, Sonny gets a second, and that sends us into La La Land. You know, we're all sort of over the moon. You know, he's fantastic and that, but with 10 minutes to go, 2-0 up, you know, you've got to be honest, this is Spurs, right? So you're still a little bit like that around the old bum cheeks, worrying about whether we could end up messing this up and ending up as a 2-2 or worse, a 3-2. And when Tottenham fans were singing to the Man City fans, it's happened again, I was honestly shaking my head thinking, nah, let's wait until that final whistle before we do that. I've been watching this way too long, and this season has been way too bad to kind of gloat like that. But fair play to them, you know, it ended up as it did, so it was all right in the end. But just touching on a couple of the other points of the game. Penalty. Okay, so Aurier makes a challenge. Me personally, and I've looked at it on replays and little videos and stuff, looks to me like he wins the ball. But the question's got to be, why is he making that kind of tackle there? Why is he doing that? You know, could he not have just kept tight to him, kept his hands off him and shepherded him, and, you know, and kind of pushed him out wide? You know, would that have been the better way to go? But then when you look at it from the other way, if you believe that he won the ball, which I do, he won the ball, turned the ball, off he goes. The ref's telling him to get up. It's not a penalty. And then 4 minutes later, after another stage of the game's gone on, it gets called back for a penalty. And I'm standing there scratching my head thinking, is this what VAR's for? You know, should it take that long for them to do it? You know, as soon as he'd gone, get up, you know, surely they should have been in his ear, blow the whistle, that we need to check this, you know, rather than letting the game play on the way it is. And this for me is where VAR is a real problem. So I'll move on to VAR just for a little bit before I talk about the second part of the penalty. VAR itself is okay, it's a good idea. You've got video opportunity for the ref to see it slowed down, real time, different angles and all the rest of it. But if it's slowing the game down to that extent that you've got fans able to sing chorus after chorus of "this ain't football anymore," and you don't know what you're doing and all this kind of stuff, then surely they've got to look at that. And we still come back to the same old story about interpretation. So the referee interpreted no penalty. VAR goes away and a different referee looks at it and goes, penalty. So, but if it takes 5 minutes to look at that, to come to a different decision than the referee, then it's not clear and obvious and it's too difficult to call it out. So surely it's better to go with the referee's decision there and then on the pitch. He's got the overall say there and then on the pitch. I don't see it as a penalty. So why do we have to give it all this time later, you know? So for me, I just think it's just killing it. I get the benefits of it, but I've got to be honest, I'm not a fan. I'd much rather the ref makes the decision and we review it afterwards, and yeah, if it was a poor decision, it was a poor decision. But if you're looking at it, the ref's made a decision, and someone else has made a decision, it's taken them 10 minutes, and they've still got the wrong decision, and we're still arguing whether it's right or wrong, then to me, it's a pointless exercise. It's got to be, the ref's made a decision, it's the wrong decision, we've reviewed it, this is the right decision, and everyone then goes, yeah, that was the right decision. But if you can still argue it after they've argued it, then it can't have been the right decision because it's just taken too long to go through it. Which kind of brings me on to the second bit, right? So poor penalty, Hugo saves it, fantastic. Off he goes, saves the ball again. Sterling goes down, and then we're reviewed again for another penalty. Now, this one I haven't been able to see back again to see whether it definitely was a penalty. Wasn't given. So for me, if the first one wasn't a penalty but was given, and this one was a penalty and it wasn't given, then it balances itself up. But you'd have got that anyway, because I think if the ref hadn't have given the first one, but then something like that happened, then he would have given the second one, and that's where this balance comes off for me. So I really don't see where this VAR is really making that much of a difference in terms of getting decisions right. And I might be wrong, and like I keep saying time after time after time, this is about opinions, right? But then if it's not a penalty, is it a dive? If it's a dive, it's a second yellow card, so Sterling should have been off. Forget about the fact that his first yellow card was a red card, should have been a red card. And if VAR's looking at that, how are they not seeing it as a red card? As much as I despise Arsenal, you have to say, when a Banyaman, whatever his name is, gets sent off, that's exactly the same as the one that we've just seen. So how is that not a penalty, not a sending off? So VAR for me is just not doing it. It's just not turning me on, man. It's just not giving me the decisions I'm looking for, or the clarity or whatever. I would much rather the referee at the time makes a decision. If it's the wrong decision, it's a wrong decision. You wipe yourself down, you move on, because you can forgive him for making a decision there and then at the game. When you've got umpteen other people looking at it at every different angle and they still get it wrong, you think to yourself, well, what's the point of that? You know, I just don't get it at all. So there it is. But for me, ultimately, did we deserve the game? Yeah, why not? Why not? We've had really poor luck this season, and a lot of teams will say the same. Liverpool only seem to be the only team that's ever getting any kind of luck, and they'll say, well, they're due that luck because they've had loads of shit luck in the past. But for me, yeah, I think we probably did edge it in the end. We deserved it. There were some decisions that went our way, but there were some decisions that didn't go our way. So balanced off over the course of the game, maybe. But 3 points is 3 points. Takes us back up to 5th, 4 points behind Chelsea. So a better position than we were before the game started. And if these teams keep slipping up and we start to gain some momentum, because that's what we're looking for now, right? We're looking for momentum. What we need is to string some results together to build that momentum, rather than having a win and then a poor result and then a draw and then, you know. So what we need now is a bit of momentum. Let's start gathering some pace. If they're starting to go through a bit of a slump, and having some poor results and getting some poor decisions going against them, great. That's what we need, as long as we're getting the results that we want. And all you can do is win your games. So if you win your games, then that's your job done. You've got to then hope that others fall apart or have a bit of a blip or whatever. So for me, top four still in our hands, provided we keep winning, because I am sure that Man United, Chelsea, Leicester, even Man City will have more blips in the next games that are coming up. So let's just hope that we can continue this, and that Jose's get a little bit of momentum going, getting a few of his ideas in, and then we look to build on that, and hopefully in a few weeks' time we're actually in the top four, and we can solidify that role. But yeah, yesterday, great result. Enjoyed the game in the end because we won. Did have a few birthday sherbets with my mate Ian, because it was his 65th birthday, so happy birthday, Ian. We had a great time in LTs, and we made up a couple of songs, and it was a good day. So all in all, really enjoyed it. Let's hope that we can continue that with a win against Southampton, or as they're known locally, the Scummers, and progress into the FA Cup as well, and keep that pushing on. Top four, it's in our sights. Out the Spurs.